Fox News Digital capturing the emotional moment that an Israeli man in New York City stands before a poster of his own brother who Hamas is holding hostage. While people fight for the safe return of their loved ones, some people are ripping down the posters and protesting against Israel. Let's bring in the president of Media Line, the American news agency covering Israel and the Middle East, Felice Friedson. Felice, thank you for being with us. First of all, let me get your reaction to the sad news that Yehudit Weiss, mother of 5 in her 60s, whose husband was murdered in their safe room on October the 7th in Kibbutz Be'eri. She was taken hostage by Hamas, was found deceased today by the IDF.
It indeed is very sad, and thank you so much for having me today. I was with members from Kibbutz Be'eri recently, and I have to say it's a very sad day here in Israel to find out that this 65-year-old woman who was a cancer patient was found dead. It also leaves questions about where all the hostages are at the moment in Gaza. The families are feeling very worried about their loved ones. As you can imagine, it's more than 40 days into this Israel-Gaza war.
And we're showing a picture of Yehudit Weiss. They're 65 years of age. The IDF did not say how she died or when she died, only that her body had been found and returned to Israel for dignified burial. I want to go back to where we started at the top of this, and that was a picture of Michael Levy, who's an Israeli who's in New York City, who found a picture of his brother Or Levy, who has been held by Hamas since October the 7th, on a billboard in New York City. Let's listen to what he said when he described to FoxNews.com what it was like to see his brother's picture up there.
Watching him here is, it's surreal. I mean, I wonder what he'll think when he'll find out that his poster, his picture was everywhere.
Yeah, his poster is there in New York City, showing so many people support the return of these hostages. It really was a touching moment.
The hostage organization behind this has done an incredible job of really enlightening the world of what's happening with all these families. And the numbers, you know, they've come out with 239 as the number of hostages still that are being held in Gaza. It's hard to still know if that's correct because of so many that are still missing. Yeah. But quite honestly, what he's saying is in the hearts of every one of these people. I was in Kibbutz Be'eri and then spoke with so many of them, including Thomas Hand, one of the hostage fathers that you had on recently, and Thomas Hand telling me that he was happy to hear that his daughter was killed and not in the hands of Hamas. And then we learned, as I was putting together a documentary on the burning hearts in Be'eri, that there was a possibility that she's alive and that the Israel Defense Forces told him so. So I can't quite imagine what he's going through. But quite frankly, John, what's important here to note is those posters you talk about, too, many people are ripping them down as well. And I think that the reality is that many people have lost their soul in this war. It's really a war of civilizations, of understanding what is good and what is bad. And this was just evil at its core.
Yeah, and yet we had that touching moment on Tuesday, that moment of silence for all of the hostages here on the Mall in Washington. Felice Friedson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.